What's the price for a black man's life? I check the toe tab, not 1 0 in sight. I turn the TV on, not one hero in sight, unless he dribble or he fiddle with. So this is like the second time y'all caught me doing this, but I got a good excuse. I'm about to work out, and you need cookies and cream ice cream. Yeah, all right, cool. Anyways, we are here to wonder what will I be cookies about and what would make the cream of the crop. In this video, we're going to be going over a competitive Mekk-Knight deck profile, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I always bring those budget options. Alright guys, so we are going to be showing you this Mekk-Knight deck profile. The goal of this particular deck is to be able to consistently, if going first, be able to rip off your opponent's entire hand and extra deck. But if we can't do that, we still have a true king of all calamities combo, which sets us up. Of course, if you guys want to see a full in-depth combo tutorial, then you can check out the video before this. It has everything in detail, explaining why I play certain cards. This particular video is going to be focused more on the deck profile and giving you guys those budget options. So moving on to the deck profile, we're gonna start off with 3 copies of Mekk-Knight Purple Nightfall, 3 copies of Mekk-Knight Blue Sky, 2 copies of Indigo Eclipse, 1 copy of Yellow Star, 1 copy of Red Moon, and 1 copy of Avram. That's pretty standard for most Mekk-Knight decks. The Purple Nightfall and the Blue Sky, unfortunately, are mandatory. I can't give you guys any budget options for those particular cards. One thing I do want to point out is Mekk-Knight Avram. This guy is an amazing normal summon because it's a Mekk-Knight monster that's a normal summon and can potentially get you into some plays. Moving forward, we do play one of the most expensive cards in the strategy, 3 copies of Girsu Mekk-Knight Orcus. This card actually does have budget options, but you have to change the entire deck. Next, we do play 3 copies of Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. This card is a lot more powerful than what people give it credit. Getting tired of getting the Nibiru? Give your opponent an Ibli. Your opponent doesn't play Link monsters, which is actually very probable. Give them an Ibli, you pretty much win the game. 1 World Legacy War Armor to complement the Girsu, 1 copy of Gizmek the Shining Stag, and 1 copy of Lightning the Thunder King the Lightning Kaiju. From there, we play our hand traps and 2 copies of Iron Dragon Tamayatin. This card is a complete blowout against certain decks, and this strategy can easily put 3 cards in the same column, meaning you can summon this to any column you prefer and then prevent your opponent from using those zones. 3 copies of Psyframe Gear Gamma. This is actually just an extra spicy tech. You can take out this to make the deck more consistent, but Psyframe Gear Gamma also allows you to disrupt some of your opponent's critical combos. And 1 copy of that Psyframe Driver. That's going to be it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells, we run 3 copies of World Legacy Memory, which allows us to extend forward in case we don't open the most optimal hand. 2 copies of Pinpoint Landing, which is actually extremely good in this strategy. It breaks even on its first activation, but then becomes a +1 on every other instance afterward. 2 copies of World Legacy Key. This card is actually pretty decent against Eldritch because it does negate those current trap cards. It also gets you free Mekk-Knights that are banished. Next is 2 copies of World Legacy Succession, 1 copy of Monstrosity, 1 Mind Control, and 1 World Legacy Scars. Moving on, we do play 1 copy of World Legacy Secret, and then we follow it up with 1 copy of World Legacy's Whispers. This deck can actually set up a situation where you can negate your opponent's spells, traps, and monsters in a Mekk-Knight column, which could win you a game in the grind game. So the deck is really good for being able to blow out your opponent going first. It can actually play really well since it is a going second deck and has an amazing grind game. Mekk-Knight pretty much has all of the qualities that you look for in a competitive deck. Moving on to the extra deck, let's actually go over some of those budget options right now. I know some people are probably moaning at the sight of 3 copies of Orcus Mekk Girsu. It is a fairly expensive card. Well, you can drop this completely out of your deck, which means you're gonna have to drop a couple of other cards. Some cards I would strongly suggest dropping as well is your Gizmek Kaku and your Lightning Strike. And that's pretty much going to leave you with a lot of a different deck than what you had before, meaning that you're gonna have to play a completely different Mekk-Knight variant. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, there's definitely some cards that you can decide to play. If you have the Invoked engine, I know it's expensive right now, but if you just so happen to have it, the Invoked engine is amazing for the Mekk-Knight strategy. It gives you a great going first play, but the best thing about it is that it searches a spell card and can preemptively give you columns. It's alright if you guys can't afford the Mekk-Knight or the Invoked engine either, there's still other options. Another way to play this deck is just to run more copies of Mekk-Knight Avrams and more unexpected die. Avram is actually a really good Mekk-Knight. He can special summon himself to the side of the field for free through unexpected die, and if you have 2 in hand, you can proceed to use 1 to make a Link Spider, and then you can create a column or special summon another Avram from your hand to your side of the field to where Link Spider points to, which would instantly give you a Morning Star. Something that I did not pull out, but you can definitely play inside of the strategy if you were on a budget, are the Crusadia monsters. Crusadia works amazing for this deck because, again, those normal summon of the Crusadia monsters instantly give you a monster in the extra monster zone, and then you follow it up with a spell or trap card, which can create your columns. All of these options are amazing budget options for your Mekk-Knight deck if you can't afford the Girsus. Just be sure to take out your true king of all calamity engine, which is the Kaijus, as well as, you know, the World Legacy armor and stuff. Moving on to the extra deck, I run 1 copy of Crusadia Avramax, 1 copy of Spectrum Supreme, 1 copy of Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, 2 copy of Morning Star, 1 Galtea, 2 copies of Lib World Keyblade Master, 1 Cypher More Lambda, 1 Link Cross, 1 Link Kribo, All Mirage, Calamities, Dingirsu, and a Trishula Dragon of Icy Imprisonment. Now, I know there are some expensive cards inside of this extra deck, namely Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, and you actually don't have to play those cards, especially if you're not running the Girsu. If you are running the Girsu, you don't necessarily need Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, but you do need cards like Mekk-Knight Crusadia Avramax and your Link Cross to be able to perform the full combo. Again, for you budget players, your extra deck is actually going to vary from this. You're going to be dropping cards like your True King of All Calamities, the Trishula, maybe this if you guys can't afford it or don't have it, and Blackluster Soldier, say Soldier of Chaos, and in place you're going to be playing cards like your Invoked engine, or maybe even your Crusadia cards such as Magius and your Equimax to be able to supplement for those cards. You're going to have to address accordingly. Now that we're done with that, I'm going to be showing you guys those short combos, but again, you guys should check out that combo tutorial video that I have for you guys. It's going to have more in-depth combos about this particular profile. And also, if you guys want to see this particular deck in action, not only do we already have a Mekk-Knight live duel, I'll list that down below in the comment section, as well as pin it and put it as a card. You cannot miss that. We also have an upcoming game from the YCS Lockdown Tournament against Endymion. It's really exciting. So with all that done, let me show you guys these 2 important combos that you need to know, and also be sure to watch those other videos. How do I get from, I don't know how to. Alright guys, so we are looking at the 2-card combo that will more than likely force your opponent to force you to go second, which is something that the deck wants to do. In order for this combo to work, you need Girsu, Mekk-Knight Orcus, and a Mekk-Knight Blue Sky or a Purple Nightfall. But to be honest with you guys, there are so many ways to do this combo. If you do have a 5-card hand, it can be done with Blue Sky and Purple Nightfall, an additional Mekk-Knight monster if you can set up your columns. It can be done in so many ways, but the simplest self-contained way to do it is with Blue Sky, Purple Nightfall, and Orcus Girsu. You're going to start off by normal summoning the Girsu Mekk-Knight Orcus to be able to use its effect to send a World Legacy War armor from your deck to the graveyard. From there, you're going to use your Girsu's effect. You're going to special summon a token to your side of the field and another token to your opponent's side of the field where their extra monster zone is unoccupied, and you can special summon a Mekk-Knight monster to where you're pointing to. You can use that token for a link into your Link Kribo, and then you proceed to special summon that Mekk-Knight in your hand to your side of the field. In my particular situation, it's going to be the Blue Sky to add the Purple Nightfall, but if it's Purple Nightfall, you're going to get Purple Nightfall to add the Blue Sky, and then Blue Sky to add another Mekk-Knight with a different name. In this situation, I'm going to use the Link Kribo and the Blue Sky for a link. We are going to summon into Ib World Keyblade Master, and then use Keyblade Master to set a World Legacy Succession. From here, I'm gonna go actually use my Purple Nightfall's effect by special summoning it and then banishing it. I'm gonna add a Mekk-Knight with a different name from my deck to my hand. I like to add Indigo Eclipse because this card is actually the best Mekk-Knight in graveyard, but you can add any Mekk-Knight that does not exist in your graveyard currently. After that, I'm going to use my World Legacy Succession to special summon my World Legacy World Armor, and then trigger the effect of your World Legacy World Armor to add World Legacy Key. Activate your World Legacy Key to get your Purple Nightfall back to your hand, and then special summon your World Legacy Indigo Eclipse, or Mekk-Knight Indigo Eclipse to your side of the field. Use your Lib World Keyblade Master for a link into Link Cross, and you can also use Lib's effect to return that token that you gave to your opponent back to your the extra deck, wherever it went, all right? It just disappears. Now, the reason why you don't do this is because if your opponent wants to infinite impermanence you, obviously they have no monsters and they can do it. So let them have the token. That additional card is gonna be the only thing they'll have. I'll use the effect of Link Cross to be able to special summon 2 tokens to my side of the field. The 2 tokens isn't necessarily mandatory, only one of them is, and then we'll tribute the token to special summon Link Kriebel back to my side of the field. I'm very aware that you cannot link summon with these tokens, but Link Kriebel is actually special summoning itself by tributing a token from the graveyard. From there, use your Link Kriebel and your Mekk-Knight Indigo Eclipse into your Mekk-Knight Morning Star, and then discard the Mekk-Knight Purple Nightfall from your hand to the graveyard to add World Legacy Stars. Use the Mekk-Knight Morning Star and the Girsu into your Spectrum Supreme, and then your Spectrum Supreme can use this effect to send the World Legacy Key to the graveyard to special summon another Mekk-Knight monster to your side of the field. Make sure it is a different name than all of the Mekk-Knight monsters that you have previously summoned. From here, Link Cross plus Spectrum Supreme into our Mekk-Knight Avramax, and then our Mekk-Knight Avram, our World Legacy World Armor, and our Avramax into our Soldier of Chaos. Finishing up, we are going to activate World Legacy Scars, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exactly 8 different Mekk-Knight monsters with different names from our graveyard. Proceed to send our opponent's entire hand and extra deck to the graveyard. This is the reason why Mekk-Knights are powerful. With 2 cards, you can literally decimate your opponent, forcing them to make them go first. Something that Mekk-Knight decks want to do anyways. And if you ever get the opportunity to go first, if you want to go first, then yeah, they're not gonna be having fun. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the TCGPLAYER. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, you guys already know, do the thing. Hit that like button, destroy that subscribe button, but more importantly, share with the world why Mekk-Knights are so powerful. I hope you guys are staying safe in this time of need and having a great day like I am.